The reason I am putting this up because the reaction to her video was freaking crazy. I mean, the Gen X's and the baby boomers went off. So, to keep it in context, I have to show you what she said. First of all, you see it written right there. Gen X sucks as grandmothers and aunties. Okay, so let's hear what she got to say first.
Y'all, I really want to talk about a subject that is not talked about a lot. And the Gen X generation gonna be real hot with me, but I really want to talk about the millennials who are doing the best they can without real grandmothers. And by the way, when I say Gen X, though, that's like whoever was born in 1968 to 1980. You know, back in the day, when I used to play outside when I was a kid, I had friends who would always be at their grandmama and their auntie house. Now, my mother is not part of the Gen X generation. My mom was born in the 50s, right? So when I would go outside, I used to ask my friends, like, dang, you been at your grandma's house for a real long time. Dang, you been at your auntie house for about a real long time. Where's your mom? Like, you know, did you talk to her? Is she okay? Because you've been here for about 14 days. I mean, you would have literally thought that I worked for child services at a young age because I had questions that needed answers because my mama didn't play that shit. She didn't believe in leaving me at her mama's house for umpteen days, or her sister's house for umpteen days during school days and never returning until like the 14th day. Like, my mama did not play none of that. And it's sad to me how millennials, you know, when it's time for them to live their life, you know, if they want to go out for a weekend, hey, mama, can you watch my baby for me? A lot of y'all in the Gen X generation, you won't even look out for them. And the sad part to me, Gen X would be like, oh, I don't got time for all of that. I done raised y'all. I want to live my life. Baby, it's 365 days in a year. Your children or your child been at your grandma's house back in the day, 364. So I'm trying to figure out, who in the hell did you really raise? Some of y'all kids was at your sister's house, your mama house, your great-great-grandma house. I mean, Gen X, a lot of y'all had a whole damn village when it came to y'all children. And you can't come through for yours? Now it's y'all turns to be the grandmama. It's now y'all turns to be the aunties. And it's so sad. Everybody looked out for y'all. But now it's your turn and you can't do nothing? And then you say, oh, I want to live my life. Oh, I want to live my life. Baby, what did you miss in your prime? Y'all was at the clubs 24/7. And let's not even talk about Freaknik, baby. You went every fucking year. Now your sister needs some help. Now your brother needs some help with, hey, sis, can you watch my son for me? Can you watch my daughter for me for like an hour? Ooh, an hour? An hour? Little Miss Unfit, an hour too much for you? Not the same bitch who left your child at your mama house sitting up here talking about, oh, I'm going to the club. I'm gonna be back at 9. I'm gonna be back at 9. Your mama had just told you she really got food in the house, and you literally picking up your child, which was the millennial child. You picking up your babies Sunday evening. You can't sit up here and look out for your niece, your sister when it come down to your niece and nephew, but your children stayed at your sister's and your brother's house. Now it's your turn and you can't do nothing? And some of y'all was hella trifling, baby. Y'all would drop y'all kids off, walk off with your purse, and didn't even ask. And the sad part is, nowadays, the millennials really can't even ask you because they know what you was about. They know what you about. Millennials don't even pull out half the shit y'all pulled off back in the late 80s and early 90s and 2000s, baby. Come on now. Because they know what type of person you are. And what gets me is about Gen X, a lot of y'all, not all of y'all, but a lot of y'all will literally sit up there and be like, you know, the reason why my child or the children, the way they are today, the reason why they're so independent is because of me. Are they the reason why they are today because you taught them that, or because they didn't have a choice? Because there is a difference between teaching your child to be independent and because they didn't have a choice. So which one is it? Because the millennials I went to school with, the ones that I played with, they raised themselves while you went and go fucked off. They raised themselves when you were still at that nigga house who still don't want you to this day. They raised themselves when y'all stayed at the club. They raised themselves when y'all spent the whole week at Freaknik. They raised themselves. And it's so sad, y'all sorry asses can't come through for nobody. And the sad part is, when it comes to your millennial child, her daddy already sorry. You picked her daddy, and then you gonna turn around and be a sorry ass mother, and turn around and be a sorry ass grandmama, and a sorry ass auntie. I mean, sometimes I look at, not all of y'all, but sometimes I look at the Gen X generation like a damn platypus. I mean, God just be making anything, because at this point, what are you good for? What are you good for? So my advice to my millennials, baby, continue to do the best you can. That's all you can, sis. That's all you can do, sis. That's all you can do, bro, is do the best you can. Because at this point, baby, I mean, you've been making it as far as we all can remember. You the one that's been raising. If you the oldest, baby, we all know you been the one raising your damn siblings, all of them. Every one of them. Baby, we all know you the one who had to fend for yourself. Do the best you can. And just, instead of arguing with your mama, instead of arguing with your daddy, accept them for who they are and just keep trucking and just do the best you can. When your child start asking questions about, you know, why my grandma don't come around, why every time I look around, grandma won't let me come over, what's going on? Don't dog her out. Do not dog her out. She will see when she get of age. She will see when she get of age. Just keep trucking and handle your business. Period.
Okay. Okay, this was the video, and boy, did they come for her throat. Like, okay, so here go the first one. They came for her throat. Okay, here we go.
A lot of y'all in the Gen X generation, you won't even look out for them.
Won't even look out for who, sis? That's not my damn car seat, all right? In my post-parenting years, after I done raised my kids already, I got a whole car seat in my dream vehicle that I bought with my own coin for my grandchild. Now, what I'm trying to figure out is what's really good with this Gen X slander, and why millennials and Gen Z keep coming for us when we did not send for y'all, when I know good and damn well y'all got the memo that we with the shits, all right? Now that your crybaby memories have been successfully refreshed, let this collective dragging begin. Put your oxygen mask on, lest you choke, because the smoke is here and y'all about to be big mad, all right? Y'all have a tendency of throwing stones and then hiding your hands when you decide to run up on your elders without any reverence or respect, so now it's time to sort y'all out. I said what I said. We are the alpha, the omega, and the blueprint to all this, and you all aspire to be just like us by catching rays off our light, but you never can, because we do not look to Google to be great. Our greatness comes from life experiences and wisdom. The biggest mistake Gen X ever made was making millennials and Gen Z feel so entitled that they could emotionally dump their traumas onto our lap without looking in the mirror and holding themselves accountable for the choices and the decisions that they made in their lives. Before you decide to procreate and pollute your gene pool with low vibrational energy, use discernment when choosing a co-parent who can give you the help and the support that is needed to raise a child. And before you say, me, where's the village? What happened to community? The village left when you decided that you did not want anybody disciplining your child. All right? Your kids ain't got no manners, so you can keep them home. I gave up my 20s, my 30s, and the beginning of my 40s to be the best possible parent I could be, so the second half of my life belongs to me unapologetically. I'll be damned if someone tells me I have to watch my grandchild when no one has to tell me to look at my grandchild, because I love my grandchild, all right? So our tip for the day is to figure this shit out the way we had to figure this shit out. Stop with the crybaby antics and get your unhealed, unchecked trauma under control and grow up. Okay? Is that better? Because I don't want to be called a bully. We tired. All right? All right. I hope I'm done with this, because I will come back to sort y'all out again. Lottie.
Woo. Oh, she just let her have it. Okay, let's see another one. Another one. Okay, he let her have it too.
Lady video. She's very passionate, and apparently there's a lot of pain with her parents or her grandparents or whatever's going on. But her thing is that Generation X make horrible grandparents, right? So I'm gonna address it because she made a general statement about all of us, and I'm gonna give her 2 reasons why Generation X grandparents are different from Boomer grandparents, right? One reason is that Boomer grandparents were not still taking care of the kids. Right? Millennial grandparents, we're not going to watch the kids so you can go to the club because we are still taking care of y'all. We still paying phone bills. We still getting tires rotated. We still buying groceries. We are complete safety net. Some of y'all are in your 30s. You're not independent. You were us all the time financially. You see us as an ATM, and then you want us to watch the kid while you go to the club. While you go down to Miami for bike week. No, fuck no. Hell no. You better strap that little son bitch to your ass, duct tape him to your ass, and take it with you, because we not going to do that because we're doing enough now. That's one of the differences, right? That's one of the differences between the grandparents then and the grandparents now. You can't you're expecting too much of us, right? That's one thing. The next thing is we were well behaved. We were well-behaved kids, and we had no choice. You was not going to disrespect grandmama. You damn sure weren't going to disrespect granddad. You weren't going to talk over. You weren't going to get in grown folks' business. You were going to get your ass out there and play. If all of that, there was respect there. You weren't going to be at grandma's house and worry her. However, today, all of y'all want a free range raise your kids to think they equal to you, and they talk to you in a kind of damn way, do whatever the hell they want to do at your house. And then you bring them to our house thinking they get to act the same way. No, ma'am. No, sir. The same rules that we had when you were a kid apply now. You bring their little bad son bitches over to the house, they're going to get their ass beat. As simple as that. They're going to get swatched across the ass. And it's not even a question. And you don't want nobody saying nothing to your kid. You definitely don't want nobody touching your kid. And so keep them away. It's simple as that. Because we're not going to deal with no badass kids. We live long enough to earn the respect of children. That was the thing back in the day. Just by you being elderly, children respected you. There was a boundary there. You can get a freaking 9-year-old talking to an 80-year-old like they equal now. And y'all think that's cool. So hell no, we're not gonna watch them so you can go party. If you don't have them well behaved. Or we're still taking care of all y'all financially in a damn way. We're the bank. So no, that's it. So that was the 2 reasons, and do with it what you will.
And here we go again.
A lot of y'all in the Gen X generation, you won't even look out for. So I'm Gen X, and I just want to let you know that if anyone in my generation comes for you, it's either because it's not their personal experience or they don't want to face the truth about Gen X as a collective. Now, having been in my teens and 20s during the 1990s, I think I know what may have contributed to this. So when I was 11, I moved from Boston to Texas and lived a sheltered childhood with my dad. And when I graduated high school in 1994, I moved back to Boston. And I noticed that a lot of my peers were already parents at 18, 19 years old. Now, when I moved back to Boston, I was instantly homeless. I can do a story time on that, but moving on. I was couch surfing, working minimum wage jobs, really trying to make ends meet, and I was at my wit's end. And I want you to keep in mind that the economy was booming back then. It wasn't long before peers and professionals all gave me the same advice as to how I can get myself out of my situation. And when I tell you the advice that they gave me blew my mind, I'm not exaggerating. And Gen X, you better not deny this shit. I was told to have a baby. Have a baby. Back then, if you had a baby, you can get housing and more than enough food stamps with no issue. There were also agencies that would help furnish your whole apartment. And others would help out with clothes and school supplies. But you had to have a baby. And I didn't want a baby. And the feedback I got
was kind of mind-blowing. Do you want to get out of this mess or not? You will grow to love your child. Once you're a mom, you'll get over it. I'm like, yeah, I'm not having a baby for the purpose of a meal ticket. Y'all are crazy. And that's when I started looking at the bigger picture, especially with my peers that were giving me that same advice. I would see how they were with their children, and there was no real bond. Kind of like their kids were in the way of their happiness. So with millennials being adults now and hearing their stories, I can't help but think about the times I would see them as children being pawned off on the grandmother, the auntie, and all of that. I decided to go to a women's shelter, and I worked 2 jobs until I got my first apartment when I was 19. And I did not have my first and only child until I was 37. By the way, I don't let anyone watch my daughter, and I don't do babysitters. My daughter's always with me. So in that sense, I'm much like my mom when we were young, and my mom's a baby boomer. So with many Gen Xers being grandmothers and older aunties that don't want to watch their grandchildren or young family members, I will say this. My opinion is that they always have been and always will be spoiled from that 90s era.
A lot of y'all.
Okay. Whew, let's see. We got another one. Here we go.
All the way. And I don't care who get mad about it. So what you're saying is you're mad that Gen X is not accepting the abusive behavior that you saw grandparents accept back in the day. I thought this was the generation of boundaries. No, we will not. We not your grandparents of the old days. We ain't working on it at all. Because let's be clear here. Most of the time, those grandparents back then did not have to get up and go to work every day. We do. We're still working, and we'll probably be working for at least another 20, 25 more years. So we ain't got time to babysit. When we get home, we're going to do what we need to do for our households. And if we decide to go and do something fun for ourselves, we ain't sorry. And we don't owe you no explanation and no apology. And it is what it is. Because it's funny to me, most of those grandparents that you saw back in the days that had them kids, it wasn't because they wanted them kids. It's because, like you said, somebody dropped them kids off and left them kids on them, and them grandparents did what they needed to do. Most of us made it very clear to y'all that it ain't going to happen because we saw our grandparents tired. We saw our grandparents taken advantage of. We saw our grandparents not able to enjoy their old age because somebody else decided that their grandparents was going to be responsible for their choices. And we made it very clear that that's not going to be us. We not reliving that, and we ain't sorry. And I'm trying to find out what is the issue right here. Because see, as a baby mama, I'm trying to understand, is the issue that the Gen X parents aren't doing enough to be grandparents, or did we tell y'all that y'all need to come up and be wives and not baby mamas? Because I'm trying to understand in all of that you gave about Gen X not stepping to the plate more, where's the father? We not your co-parents. We didn't lay down and make that baby with you. So it's not our responsibility to raise that baby with you. We're going to love on you, and we're going to be here as a support system. I will grandmother on my terms. You will not tell me how I'm going to grandmother, and you will not dictate to me what my time is going to be because you went out there and decided to make a baby. I made it very clear to my daughters when they were coming up. I'm raising you to be wives, not baby mamas. I'm the only baby mamas in this house. Because you know what Gen X didn't do? Lie about the dumb shit we did when we were younger. 9 times out of 10, if you didn't see it, we talked to you about it and we told you. And you all are the generation that wanted to say, hey, we make our own mistakes. We find our own way. And you deal with your own damn consequences. So it is not Gen X's responsibility to be more available to be walked over and abused because you saw grandparents get abused back in the day. So you mad at us because we won't let you do it to us. And you're going to stay mad about that, my love. You really will.
Millennials who...
Ooh, they letting her have it. Let's see. I think we, let me see if I got another one.
And the Gen X generation gonna be real hot with me.
Gen X Council, I got this one. It's true, Generation X did spend a lot of time with their grandparents, but that's because the times were different, and back then a single income could support a family. Grandpa was out working, we stayed home with Grandma. Gen X is still working. Are we supposed to take time off work to watch your kids so you can go out? And number 2, don't even talk about how it takes a village to raise, because back in our day, The village was different. See, the village could put hands on you. If the neighbor down the street caught you doing something, they would light you up, drag you home, and then grandma and grandpa would light you up. 3, we were different. We were raised to have respect for our elders. We went to our grandparents' house and we knew to keep our hands off the stuff. We knew not to interrupt grandma's soap operas. And we knew if we wanted to survive the outcome that we would go outside and play and entertain ourselves because, see, there wasn't a CPS back then, and grandparents, well, they had a different way of disciplining. Your kids tried to come over to our house, raise holy hell, don't keep their hands off anything, tried to talk to us about Z's, theirs, kitty litter boxes in the classroom, tried to talk to us about being oppressed. I'm like, what are you, how are you oppressed? How old are you? Babysitting? How about when we ask you, come over, watch the house, watch our dogs, while your mom and I go out of town? Excuses, excuses, excuses. Now, those were the negatives, and here's the positive. Gen X makes the best grandparents, and here's why. See, when they come to our house, we not only give them structure, love, and discipline, but we also introduce them to culture. And by culture, we take them back to our past, introduce them to the greatest music of all time, the original TV shows, the original movies, not all these crazy remakes. See, we make them go outside and play, but we also go out and play with them. And sometimes we sit inside and do TikToks with them. And we introduce them to the original dance, and we're like, that's not Ice Ice Baby. This is what it really looks like. See, our goal is to right the wrongs that we did raising you guys, the millennials, and flip it all around with the grandkids. Turn them into little baby Gen X. So, love us or hate us, you still need us. Now, did I forget anything? Because I would love to retort some more. And until next time, Gen X grandparents around the world, unite.
And the Gen X...
I mean, they've been going off with this girl. All the Gen X baby boomers, you know, because the baby boomers baby boomers are to 1965. So that means some of the baby boomers still have 20-year-olds. You know what I'm saying? It's not just Gen X and millenniums, and the baby boomers still got kids in their 20s. And they still work. Some of them still work. Some of them ain't even retired yet. So, what can you say? Okay, I think this is the video when she reacts to everybody reacting to her. Let me see.
Are doing the best they can without real grandmothers.
Okay, you lost your mind.
That's not the one. That's the other one. Let me see. Which one is it? She was reacting back. I think. This one?
A lot.
I don't know, that's him. I don't know why I can't find that one. Yeah, I have one where she's reacting back.
Y'all, I really want to talk about a subject that is not talked about a lot.
Okay.
And the Gen...
That was the beginning one. I did have that one up. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Okay, here it is. She gonna do part 2. She got the streets talking. That they been going off on her.
Baby, call me Rouge West, because I'm here and I got the streets hot with me. Baby, the millennials in my comments are giving the Gen Xers hell. Hell. Oh, yeah, baby, I saw a lot of Gen Xers talking shit in my comments and was coming for me, attacking me. And a lot of the millennials, honey, yeah, we see them French rolls. And the Mad Dog 2020 Alizé Coochies up in them comments, honey. We see you. Gen Xers pointed their fingers at everybody else and not themselves. No accountability. None. The millennials are not lying on y'all. Every race was in my comments. Every millennial was in my comments sharing what they had been through as a child. They were creating multiple videos. So let's really get into it. You know, as a Gen Xer, I'm so tired. I've raised my cousins. I've raised my siblings. We're the latchkey kids. And on top of that, we're trying to heal from our childhood wounds. Y'all said we were the ones whining. Y'all were whining. Because baby boomers are the ones who raised Gen Xers. A lot of them were still working. Hold on. A lot of them were still working, still dealing with childhood trauma with a whole lot of essay in it, if you know what I mean. Working 2-3 jobs, still raising your younger siblings and raising your children. Not babysitting, raising. There's a thin line between raising and babysitting. A lot of you all barely raised your children during that time period. The reason why you are creating boundaries, because I saw a lot of that in the comments. The reason why you are creating boundaries because you feared the shit you pulled off back in the day. You're afraid that your children were going to pull the same thing off on you. That's why you all started grooming them early, saying, oh, I'm not going to keep your kids. I'm not going to babysit. I have boundaries. There's a thin line between raising and babysitting. When no one ever asked you all to raise anyone, ever. I also saw, we ain't about to be keeping no kids while y'all go to the club. Baby, millennials, we really don't club like that, baby. We barely go on dates. Clubbing? Baby, the club to us as millennials is the Mexican restaurant on a Friday after a long week of work to get some freaking margaritas. The Mexican restaurants are the clubs. Baby, hopping in the bubble bath with a glass of wine and champagne, listening to Sade. Oh yeah, the bathroom club be jumping. Going to the airport is the club. So millennials don't even club like that. And two, like I said, we barely date. So I don't know where y'all got that from. Y'all, when y'all said that, y'all must have been reminiscing on y'all days. Cause that ain't what's popping over here with the millennials, honey. I hate that a lot of y'all said, you know, the millennials, they whine too much. We're not whining. We're just vocal. And we believe in expressing ourselves because a lot of us grew up in households that if you say something, I'ma fuck you up. So I'm glad that a lot of us are coming out to speak. So we're not whining. Never that. I kept seeing in the comments a lot as well. Oh, y'all are just so lazy. Y'all are so lazy. Y'all just are just so lazy. Millennials? Lazy? Sweetheart, we've been holding the internet streets down since 2006. Millennials are the ones who put the E in entrepreneur. Can we talk about it? We're the ones making TikTok go round and round, and Instagram, millennials and Gen Z. Lazy? The millionaires are in the millennial and Gen Z crew. Lazy? We're the reason why a lot of y'all are trying to start businesses now. Lazy? A lot of y'all ain't never start thinking about starting businesses until millennials start holding the streets down, and the internet streets down since 2006. Let's be clear. But you know, y'all never give us that credit, baby. But you know, as hustlers, we'll take debit. Go on, put your PIN number in, boo. Hopefully it doesn't decline. So every time you want to think of a millennial being lazy, think about the real reason why you went to Ulta. Think about the real reason how you know how to put them wigs on. Think of the real reason why you now all of a sudden want to own a cosmetic line. So when you think of a millennial, we way far from L-A-Z-Y. We holding a lot of shit down around this period. So when your child asking you, Mama, can you babysit for me? Y'all, nobody said nothing about raising. We don't want nobody raising our kids. Millennials are not fucking off, y'all. Millennials out here getting to the bag. Millennials are LPNing, RNing, with having businesses and things. Ain't nobody going to the club like y'all back in the day. So if your daughter is having a little nail tech class, it's a babysit for her for like an hour. That girl don't want you raising her damn child. If your son is trying to go to school or take a class or whatever for trucking or whatever, and he needs to study for the test, baby, you can't watch the baby for 2 hours? What's hard about that? Nobody is asking anyone to raise their kids. Y'all did that back in the day. Ain't no millennial sitting sitting up here asking you to raise nothing. Once again, millennials are far from lazy. Far. And I saw some smart ass comments that also said, well, why would you want us to sit up here and babysit your children if we Gen Xers are such horrible people? Just like how a lot of y'all had hope for a lot of millennials' daddies, and you was blowing up his phone, begging him to come get Nika, Nikki, and right now. You had a whole lot of hope for him, baby, and he still ain't came today. Then you had the audacity to turn around, had 3, 4, 5, 6, 11 more children by him, thinking that was gonna make him stay, and he didn't. You had hope for him. There's nothing wrong with a son or daughter trying to have hope for their parent, thinking if mama didn't do right by me, if daddy didn't do right by me, at least I have hope for my child. There's nothing wrong with that. A lot of them had hope before they cut your ass off. One thing that broke my heart reading the comments was them kids. When it came down to your grandchildren, all I saw was them kids. Yeah, that makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. You know why? Because that's how you felt about your own children when you had them. Fuck my kids. They can stay with my mama. They can stay with my grandmama. I don't want them no way. I ain't want no damn kids. Ooh, I ain't want none no way. Ooh, I ain't even trying to raise them. I'm gonna let my mama handle this shit. I'm gonna let my grandma deal with this mess. I don't care if my mama got 185 jobs and she's still taking care of my younger siblings, or if she ain't taking care of none at all. I don't care about none of that, baby. F them doggone kids. Who F them? That's why y'all throwing the middle fingers up to your grandchildren. But I'm gonna say this: a lot of y'all be upset when y'all grandchildren don't F with y'all, because realistically they don't know y'all. When you become of age, get ready. When you become of age, Gen Xers, get ready. Because the nursing homes getting ready to be packed. Oh, they getting ready to be packed, baby. And since y'all saying, them kids, I want to live my life, I hope you're literally saving up enough money for a caretaker to last you until you leave about this motherfucker. Because a lot of them are not getting ready to take care of y'all, baby. You might as well go ahead and boot up, boo. Baby, call me Rouge West, because I'm here and I...
Okay, so all I have to say is baby boomers still have kids in their 20s. They still ask to pay their cell phone bill. They still live in your house rent free. They still doing stuff, you know. So I'm with the guy that says that you know, they still asking for stuff. So how you supposed to do stuff with your grandkids when y'all still asking for stuff, okay? And y'all still ain't got y'all life together. Y'all run around here and talking about like y'all hypochondriacs and depressed, and y'all only in y'all damn 20s and 30s and stuff. You know, and it's not like I'm a baby boomer. I started working for the government when I was 19. You know how many 19-year-olds can go to a city they never been lived in and start working a job? I came to Washington, D.C. when I was 19 years old to work for the FBI. And how many, if you look at these kids right now and say, it's a job opening in Washington, D.C., you going? Hell no, they ain't gonna go. Just like I told my son, he's Gen Z. I said, they got a training class for you say you want to drive a train for CSX in Atlanta, and they said they pay you for training. He's like, well, I ain't going to Atlanta. See what I'm saying? These kids are not us, okay? Baby boomers was the last good generation, I'm telling you. Because these kids don't see, we didn't have the internet and telephones and stuff. The internet has ruined these children. They are ruined because of the internet. They have no soul, they have no morals, they have no nothing, because of the internet. So when they run around here talking about we ain't gonna teach Black history, we ain't gonna let them get this book. Them kids don't read books. They go on the internet all the time. What, you gonna shut down the internet? Like they don't know this stuff. Like the other lady said, we didn't have to Google stuff, and Google, they're not taking into account that Google is there. YouTube is there. If these kids want to find something about something, they Google it, or it's on YouTube. Okay? So it's like, so what is the point of banning books? Half of them don't even pick up a book and read a book. They listen to podcasts. Okay? There's a whole different thing going on. So these old people that put out all this stuff, they don't even understand that it has changed. It's not the same. They just don't get it. So, so banning books and stuff, it's not going to do nothing because the kids don't even read books. The kids are bored in school. This is my thing I always say, because the education system in America sucks. They know how to they more advanced. Okay, they can do this. They can create their own job on social media and get paid more than their mama and daddy at a job. Okay, so they more advanced, and when they go to school, they freaking bored. Okay, because they're not teaching nothing. Why they don't have video editing classes? They love to do that. Why they don't have coding classes that learn computer networking and all that stuff that they can come out and get a 6-figure job? They don't teach them none of that stuff that keep their intellect going, because it's the computer age. America has not even came into the computer age for teaching the kids anything in school. So before they start banning books and banning Black history, they need to get the whole damn education system rewrote, because we're not in the 50s and 60s, and they still teaching like they in the 50s and 60s. So I feel sorry for the younger ones, because they ain't gonna stand a chance. So anyway, it was a good video, because you got everybody's point of view on what she said, and then we had her reaction to what everybody said in the video. She had some good points. I used to send my kids to their grandparents. But I work, so in the summertime, with summer break, they get packed up and they go to Philly to their grandfather's house and their grandmother. That's where they went. When we was younger, as baby boomers, we spent every weekend at our grandmother's house. You know what I'm saying? So she's mad because the millennials don't get to do that with the Gen X's. Gen X's won't watch the kids. That's what she's mad about. But the Gen X's was raised by the whatever. The baby boomers didn't watch their kids. They, like I said, my kids went away for the summer, so we didn't do it. I admit it. I sent my kids. Look, but they was with me all through the school year because they had to go to school or whatever. But we had to have that was my break time: summer, Easter break, spring break, for them to go visit their grandparents and just stay with them. And you used to take your kids, if you got southern grandparents, you used to take your kids down south, drop them off for the summer. That's because those parents didn't work. The grandparents didn't work back then. Right now, it's a whole different time. These, baby boomers are still working, even though they on the verge of retiring or have retired. They still, a lot of them are still working because of the economy. It's so bad that they need money. They ain't retiring yet. A lot of them work till they 65 so they can get their freaking Social Security up higher, before they retire, because retirement money ain't enough. So you can't, back then, the man worked, like my grandfather worked, my grandmother ain't had to work. That's why she was home every weekend to watch the kids. She worked her way. And then when my kids were younger, my dad, he was like at almost retirement age, so he was home, so he could watch the kids in the summer, because he was home. And now with the baby boomers, a lot of them still working. I'm retired. I could have watched the kids in the summertime, but a lot of them not. And if I wanted to do something on my own, then you supposed to respect that. Okay, I got to do something for myself. I'm taking a trip. I'm going away for the weekend. I need some quiet time. You know, you can't be dumping your kids on me every weekend unless I say, okay, I want the kids to come for 2 weeks in the summer or whatever. So that's what, you know, really. So she just mad because the Gen X generation don't want babysit kids. The grandmas and the aunties. Because people had their own life. It's like, I'm sorry y'all in this inflation thing and y'all can't buy houses and y'all can't do what we did. You know, we moved to the suburbs, you know, we work jobs so we can buy a house for the kids that we raised. They was raised in the suburbs, okay? So we can't do nothing about that. But I think being raised in the suburbs, like my Gen Z son and my Millennium daughter, I got two. I got a Gen X, I got a Gen Z and I got a Millennium. They spoiled because they live in the suburbs. And you know, I grew up in the city. So they live in the suburbs, so they spoiled, okay? They always live in the house. They spoiled. They live in the suburbs. What can you do? So I thought this was an interesting video topic. So if you got more to say on this topic, just say it in the comments, you know. But I think it's worth a discussion because she has points the way she feel. I wouldn't say she didn't have no points, but she do have points. But then the grandmothers and the aunties in Generation X have points too. You know, they're not gonna be dictated when they can watch their kids. Now she's saying the millenniums don't go to the club. They don't go to the club. The baby boomers, we did go to the club, right? We partied to our 30s, okay? So we was at the club. I can say for sure we was at the club. Now the ones after us, the Generation X, I don't know if they went to the club like that, but they probably did. And then she's saying millennials don't really go to the club because it's another time. Y'all get to travel. I be seeing y'all on social media. Y'all on a yacht. Y'all doing this and y'all doing that. We ain't get to do that because we didn't have social media to make all that money. We didn't have that. We couldn't generate our own job and stuff. We didn't have that. So we just worked. We didn't get to travel. Shoot. I can say I ain't hardly take a vacation the whole time raising my kids. I think we went to Florida one time on a vacation. I had to do that one, you know, save money for years to get them to Disney World. You know what I'm saying? So cause we worked too. And then as soon as I came back, I had to go back to work. You know, so it was a lot, you know. So I don't know. She got some points. Gen X got some points. Everybody got some damn points. Baby boomers got points. But, you know, now that I am retired, if I can watch my grandkids because I'm retired. If I was still working and I did that with my kids, worked and raised kids at the same time, hell no, you ain't dumping your kids on me. So I understand what the Gen X's are saying. Because, you know, I had to figure it out. Just like I said, these kids now, they can't figure it out. They can't figure it out. They just can't figure it out. You know, they are different from the baby boomers, you know, and even some of the Gen X's. Like she said, the millenniums, they started YouTube and all that stuff. YouTube started in 1995 or 96, I think it was. And that was right. I had my first computer in my house about 95, 96. My daughter was about 8. And no, it wasn't common for people to have computers in the house. I had AOL 3.0, but you know, eBay had just started in 96. So we didn't have no super highway. So y'all were just born at a time where there's more opportunity to create your own jobs. We didn't have none of that. We had to punch in at the post office or wherever we worked. You know, so, you know, yeah, y'all got it better than we do. Because y'all can get on YouTube and go viral and be making more money than their parents. Okay? So you ain't got to. So what you crying about? Y'all got it better than we do. Y'all ain't got to punch no clock. And now a whole bunch of people work at home. So hell, we had to look. You need some groceries? Y'all can just call Instacart. We ain't had no damn Instacart. It's like you work all day, you tired, you still had to go to the grocery store so that them kids can eat. You still had to go physically take yourself in the car, drive to the grocery store, and get the damn food and bring it back to the house. You ain't had nobody to call. So y'all have it easier because y'all do have all this stuff. Like my stepdaughter, she's a Millennium. So she always saying, I got to pick up my order at Walmart, BJ, whatever, wherever she's picking up orders for her groceries. So she always, have them shop for her and then she go pick them up. And then I'm like, she got 3 kids, but when we had kids, we couldn't do that. So it's like it was a whole different lifetime. So, you comparing the Gen X's and Millenniums and the Babyboomers and all that stuff, it was a whole different lifetime. We didn't have the convenience that y'all had. If you sick laying in the bed, you still got to go to the drugstore and get some cough medicine when we were sick, when we had kids, because, the kid was sick and you don't have nobody watch the kid. You got to wrap the kid up, put the kid in the car, go to the drugstore, get the damn medicine, and then go back in the house. You know what I'm saying? So, but y'all got pick your phone up and hit Instacart. Can you pick me up some cough medicine from CVS? Really, lady? Okay. So that's my point of view on the whole thing. So what is your point of view? Hit the comments because this is ripe for discussion because they got it better, way better than we had it back then. So I don't even know what they complain about. She's talking about we started online and all this stuff. No, y'all was born when the time for the superhighway and the smartphones and the iPads and stuff. So get out of here with that. Okay? We didn't have all that. Talk about we trying to make money now because we seen them make it. But look, I can tell you one thing. In 1996, when I had my son, and the computers just first coming out, we ain't have flip phone. Well, we ain't have phones or nothing. I think the phones was great come out because I remember my mom having a phone in her car, but it was like one of them huge phones. They was great come out, but none of that stuff was out. It was a total different life than what you millenniums have. So I'm like, y'all got a totally different life. So you can't compare what they don't do and it's impossible because y'all life is totally different. Because I always said if I was in my 20s and YouTube was around, I'd be a damn YouTube star and I'd probably be a millionaire in my 20s because I was that outgoing person. Okay, so I would have been a YouTube star if YouTube was out in my 20s. I would have created my own job, had my own money. So now that y'all can look, we didn't have trading back then. You had to get a broker. Now people can trade themselves online. They can make money like that. They can buy crypto. Y'all got everything that y'all need to make money. That's why I said when some of y'all ain't making money, I be like, why? Everything's at your fingertips. So why are you crying about the Gen X's and the baby boomers? I mean, really? You got everything. We ain't had nothing to get us nowhere. All we could do was sell Avon and Tupperware. Okay? Get the hell out of here. Anyway, comment below, like and subscribe. I just had to get this video out because this stuff kept popping in my face and I was like, I got to put this compilation together for this mess right here. So if you have anything to say about it, if you are a baby boomer, a millennium, a Gen X, a Gen Z, whatever you are, if you got something to say, then say it in the comments.